Welcome to Bitter Reality Brewing. Yes, we're brewing our second beer in the new space, and it's on the BrewEasy Compact this time, and it's a repeat brew that I've pretty much perfected, but I'm gonna throw a little curveball your way. It is my Irish Red Rye Ale with toasted caraway seeds. Frickin' love this beer. Just a great, great beer. I'm getting a little late start this season. Sadly, if you haven't had a chance, you can go check out the other video, which, yeah. That was last year. Did a 6-gallon, cut it in half, did Irish ale yeast on one and did British yeast on the other 3 gallons. And I'm sorry, but the Irish yeast just knocked it out of the park as usual, and it was just amazing. It's just my go-to for my Irish red ale. Now, if I'm doing the Irish oatmeal stout, yeah, for an Irish dry stout, I'm gonna go to the British yeast. It just, to me, it tasted better for me. It's opinion, but I liked it better. This recipe is a little complex, but if you can do all grain, you can do it. It's not hard. The only thing I am doing is I'll be substituting something for a brand new hop that you probably don't have and probably haven't heard of. Yes, you probably haven't heard of it. I just heard about it a few days ago, and I own it. And I'm gonna be using it as a substitution hop because I don't have the hop I normally use. The go-to hop for me for this beer is a late 5-minute edition of Southern Cross. The aromas just really, really complement the malts and the caraway seed and all the rye, because there's a lot of rye in this beer. One great thing is, you know, I've got my scale for my grains, I got my scale for my brewing salts, and everything's within a few feet of this. It's just, the new brew space is killing me. It's so, so good. And I have so much relatively close and killing me in a good way, not a bad way. So, we have the BrewEasy Compact. I already filled it up, 6.3. It's probably gonna need a little bit more, but 6.3 gallons, gonna do a 1-gallon sparge. I've already crushed everything at a 0.25 crush. I do that instead of 0.025 crush instead of a 0.0375, which I use for the Anvil Foundries. So we're at our 0.025 of an inch crush, and I've got to get my brewing salts in here. I got to get the temperature turned up. But before we do that, let me go over exactly what's in this recipe. I'll pop it up on the screen. Yes, I will convert to kilograms and grams for those who are not in the Imperial US, as they say. The whole world isn't here, I promise you, for the people in the US. But carried a ride is what I was calling it. This is 2 for 2023, and it's a 5-gallon batch. So I had to scale it down from last year's a little bit. And I made a tiny bit of adjustment here and there, but nothing major with the exception of the hops. So we have 6 pounds, 4 ounces of Maris Otter. We have 1 pound, 12 ounces of rye malt. We have 10 ounces of flaked rye. This is the one that you may have a problem getting. And someone reached out to me on this and I didn't realize what recipe he was using, but 1/2 pound or 8 ounces of Black Swan honey biscuit. You can get that at Label Peelers. Label Peelers appears to be the only place I've found so far that carries the Black Swan or Swain honey biscuit malt. I love that malt. It is just amazing. If you need to substitute, you could probably do 4 ounces each of honey and 4 ounces of biscuit, but yeah, the honey biscuit is just amazing. 4 ounces of Carapils. I did up that a tiny bit because I didn't feel I had as much head retention last time as previous brews, so I did kick that up a little bit. 2.5 ounces of chocolate rye, another malt I absolutely adore. 1.3 ounces of Cararoma. And really the Cararoma and the chocolate rye are really there to give us the deeper red color and get us up there. Now, I already mentioned the Irish ale yeast. The hops, that's where it's gonna change. My go-to hop for this is Southern Cross, because you get a little bit of lemon, a little woodsy, and those really seem to complement the malt flavors really, really nice. On this one, and the rye, I'm using Yakima Valley hops, Mackenzie hops. Yeah, Mackenzie, I think it's kind of cool. I'm pretty sure that's an Irish name, so kind of meant to be. It is very similar. We've got a resiny pine, we have citrus, we have specifically lemon, and I know there was something else, a little bit of thyme, which might be with the caraway and thyme, I don't know, who knows. But it's the same alpha acids as my Southern Cross at 13% last year. I'm doing 2.75 ounces at the last 5 minutes. And yes, I know for you all who like to draw inside of the lines, all of my numbers are right at that edge or just blurring outside that edge a little bit at 75% efficiency, assuming that and assuming almost an 80% estimated mash efficiency. So if I come in a hair under my numbers, I'll be fine. If I'm coming in at or just over my numbers, I'm right on that cusp. I don't like drawing inside the lines. Sorry, it's just the way I am. But yeah, we got a 75-minute mash. We have a 10-minute at 168, gonna mash out. And hopefully I'll mash out properly compared to the last video. And I've got 3 cameras and I'm trying to reduce any kind of shake on those cameras so you can really get a good visual of both the brew commander, what I'm doing up top, everything. And I'll keep focused on trying to get that to improve each time until it just comes out amazing if I can get it ever that good. You know what I'm saying? Brewing salts, when I go to add them, I'll pop them up here on the screen, which I'm gonna add them right now and get that stirred in if I can find my little spoon. I just had my spoon. But what did I say? I can take a few feet and boom, I have things. I even have remote controls to turn off things that make noises. Yeah, I'm thinking things through. So we're gonna go ahead, get the brewing salts in there. Well, the water is nice and cold. I think it's sitting around 70 degrees or so. Okay, we'll get that stirred up. I'm gonna get this heat turned on, get the heat going, and I'll let you watch me. So here we go. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna set 150, enter. I'm gonna set the power to 100%, enter, and we're gonna turn that auto. Don't want boil. So we're gonna heat this up. Once it hits 150 degrees, we'll go ahead and mash in. Okay, we should be hitting 150 here any second. You can see it, why don't you let me know? Yeah, that's how I want it. Can't remember if I stirred up those brewing salts. I saw them settling a little bit. There we go. And that tells me we're at 150. I'm gonna go ahead and set that in there. I know that may bring the temperature back down a little bit. Not too worried about that. We're gonna go ahead and get mashed in. I do have almost 8 ounces worth of rice hulls in here. There we go. I just want that out of my way. It's nice to be able to hang it on here, but it's still in my way. So I should have got a cup, but I guess I can use something else. There we go. Let's get mashed in. We're mashing it at 150. Once we get everything in, we'll let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then we will start the profile, which will start the 75-minute countdown to the 168 before we mash out. This is where I should be using plastic, but it's okay. I'll try not to hit the grain basket. Oh, wow. I'll speed this up. It smells amazing. It kind of smells delicious. Okay, we're gonna let that sit for about 10 minutes and then we'll rock and roll. Okay, just because we're gonna let that sit for 10 minutes doesn't mean we can't start our mash profile. So, yep, see, it's already spiking and it's going over. So we're gonna turn that off. Gonna go to menu. We're gonna go to mash. And we don't want 149, we're mashing it at 150. So profile 2, hey, there it is, 150, 75 minutes. 168, 10 minutes. I think it's got like an 8-minute ramp up. I'm gonna say go. Go back home. There's our countdown, our power. We're gonna reduce that power because that power is probably gonna be way too high. So I'm gonna say 65%. And we'll see where it goes. I can adjust it from there, but at around 150, I think 65% is more than enough. We're up around 168, maybe kick it up to around 70, but you know, still learning the system. It's not like you're born to know it. But yeah, we'll rock and roll. And like I said, once that gets down a little further, I'll go ahead and start the recirculation. Okay, we're a little past the 10 minutes. I'm gonna turn the pump on. So the pump is on. We're gonna open it up. I'll leave that part restricted a little bit. Okay, go over here, hit pump. I had to lower the power a little bit more. Okay, is the liquid flowing? I don't think it's flowing. Nope, there it goes. I had to open this up a little bit more. Had a little too much back pressure. Okay, now we're going to turn it down considerably. And let's see if I can turn over here so you can see. I want to go about 3/4. So this is wide open. About a ½ gallon a minute. 3/4 of a gallon per minute. And like I said, you may have to adjust it once it kind of settles. Okay. Why we have so much air in there? There we go. There we go. Okay, I was just being overly restrictive. Let's see how this looks. Okay, and since we haven't stirred in the past 10 minutes, I'm only going to stir the top half here and give it a little move. Okay, there we go. And we're going to let that sit for another almost 65 minutes before it ramps up to 168, and we'll go from there. I'm going to put the lid on top, keep the heat in. Remember, don't put the lid on if you're trying to do a boil. You could have a problem. Okay, so we have a cameo appearance. Since we're brewing an Irish red ale, what better than to have an Irish dog? Yeah, say hi. She just swung on by. She's my little assistant brewer here for the past few months. New addition to the family. Her name is Riley, Irish name. And she is an soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, which is an Irish peasant dog. So we've got an Irish dog, Irish beer, Irish named hops, not Irish, it's from the US. But yeah, she's checking it out. She's seeing if there's any treats. I had to get her one to get her into the garage, and she even had a bath last night, so she smells pretty good, right? Yeah. So we got about 30 more minutes before we get to 168, and we'll be there for 10 minutes, and then we'll mash out. I'll let you down, okay, girl? There you go. I know the system's a little loud. I know I haven't even started the boil, so kind of committing the cardinal sin and having a beer early. In a dirty glass. It's okay. It's what I had. But this is what I'm brewing, but last year's version. My problem is it wasn't carbonated as well as I would have liked when I bottled it for some reason. Still carbonated, just I would have liked it a little more, but it's a year old. Aroma's super mild. Okay, I'm not gonna say it aged gracefully. Actually, it aged okay. It doesn't taste bad at all. I get my rye, I get a little hint of the caraway. The caraway is a little lighter than it used to be. It used to be very pronounced, the rye bread. Very, very mild. There's a possibility I bottled one that wasn't Irish ale, but I'm pretty sure I used Irish ale yeast in this one that I bottled. But it's nice, it's smooth. Just the caramel standing out a little bit more. I went for more of a dry balanced. So, oh, there we go. Got a little hint of the rye bread. So I'm gonna kind of sip on this while I'm getting ready to boil. Okay, as you can see, we're almost at 68 Fahrenheit. Once we hit 68 Fahrenheit, we'll be there for 10 minutes. The ramp up actually keeps the power setting that you put in there. So when I had reduced it to 55, that was perfect for 150. I increased it to 100% for a few minutes just to get it up a little faster. I just dropped it to 65% because I don't want to overshoot too much on this 168. And I'm heating up a gallon of sparge water. So we'll sparge. Once we're done sparging, we can drain it and boil it and rock on. So very excited. And 0.75 ounces, or I think it's like 21 point something grams of caraway seeds. We'll toast that, and I'll actually toast that on the little burner so you can see me toast it. It takes almost 10 minutes to toast. So that's something we need to keep in consideration that I almost forgot last time, because we need to be toasting that as close to where we have to add it, but not, you know, you get it. So it takes about 10 minutes to toast, and that's with a hot pan. Okay, we were already a minute into the 10-minute mash at around 166 something. I'm good with that. I just cranked the power up so we can get to a full 168, and we'll be there for the remainder of the 10 minutes. Okay, I got it, mash complete. Just beeped, just hit it. Like I said, it just hit it. Got another alarm. Okay, here we go. With that drip, I know we can hang it there. I just feel like it's in my way, so not what anybody wants to hear, but it is what it is. Okay, so we gotta come around here, hit mash complete. Yeah, we know. We'll turn off the pump. Leave the temp there. I'm good with that for now. And yeah, we're good. Let's get the goofy little silicone doggy and pull this out. Okay, and if you haven't seen this show before, it's draining, but there we go. There's always a little bit left in there, so I just want to make sure we get it all. That's not going to work because I'm going to have to set the mash system somewhere, so we'll set it there temporarily. Okay, I'll lift this up. Hopefully I won't hit the camera. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm going to hit the camera. And we'll let that kind of settle. I'm gonna knock some of this around a little. So I have a taller end over here where I'm gonna be dropping the water, or the mash water, should we say. We'll let that rest for a little bit while I check the sparge water. Okay, you might see a little steam right next to the camera. Yeah. Should have used my induction burner. It's just a regular burner, but we've got our nice 168 degree heat going in 168 degree water. Just shy of boiling, of course. And we're gonna get ready to sparge. And as usual, I'm gonna speed this up. Okay, I don't remember. I think 90 minutes is for the total boil. I think that's the last 10 minutes, which we are going to change to the last 20 minutes to remind me to toast the caraway seeds for the last 5 minutes, which is where we're going to add pretty much everything. The hops, the caraway, crushed Werflock tablet, yeast nutrient, pretty much everything. And I'm not going to hit start until we hit 218. So I'm going to go over here, hit on, and wait until we get to a boil, and then I'll start my timers. Okay, we're at about a boil. Yeah, jacked up my thumb. It's bleeding a little. It seems to have stopped. And playing with the dog. So Riley's been having a blast and keeping me extremely exhausted. Nice foam on here, but I'm a little concerned it hasn't hit the 212. Let's take a quick look, see where we're at. I have to put a little bit of defoamer in it, I will. Okay, we're at 211. Okay, I'm gonna call that 212. So I'm gonna go to menu, I'm gonna say boil. We have a, that's good, I like that. So we have a 90-minute boil. Hit start, and there we go, we got our 90-minute countdown. Sorry about the squeak, it's a habit from playing with her. So, okay, this is another reason I like this recipe is that it is a little complex. It's got quite a bit going on, but it's only got really the caraway seeds you gotta toast just before the 5-minute addition. And you need to know it takes about 10 minutes to toast 0.75 or about almost 22 grams. So you gotta get that done. And other than that, everything's right at the very end. And I'm starting to get my break. There we go, there's the break. Sorry about the squeak. I had to let go so I can focus on this. There we go. Woo! Beautiful break. I'm gonna toss this toy outside for Riley so she can run around and play like she loves to do. She's only 8 months old. It's all about playing. And I'm gonna watch this for a few minutes to make sure we don't end up with a boilover because we could have one at any moment. Come on, girl. Go get it. Okay, that'll give me all of about 30 seconds. She'll be back. It's like a small toddler. Yep, she's back. You can hear her. And she will squeak that thing all day long. Okay, so we're into the boil and keep you from listening to the squeaks, because like I said, she can squeak that for hours. I'll join us as we hit the addition. I'll keep a watch on that. Okay, we're in the last 15 minutes. I'm just started toasting the caraway seeds, and I'm gonna let you listen to them. That's pure aromatics, pure aromatics. Smells amazing. I gotta be careful not to burn them. So I'm gonna get this done and we can do the hop addition. We'll smell the McKinsey hops for the first time and dump this in, but smell-o-vision, come on, somebody invent it. Okay, we're in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, I know. Last 10 minutes. Stir this up. Trying to keep the top camera going without it fogging up, which is a little hard. So we have the hops. We have the hops. I got the toasted caraway seeds. I need to keep shaking them a little bit because the pan is stupid hot. I'll let you kind of see those. There you go. That's 3/4 of an ounce of toasted caraway seeds, or almost 22 kilograms. Not even sure if I can get them in here, so we'll have to figure that out. Let's go ahead and open the hops. This is McKinsey hops at 13%, and it's 2022 crop. Supposedly amazing for West Coast. Citrus, lemon, spice. What was the spice? No, it was wood. Pine cedar. Ooh. I can see West Coast. Supposedly it's related to either, is it Centennial and Chinook? Centennial or Chinook? They said it was similar. So I'm not gonna say related, but similar. Okay, I smell the lemon. I smell a little woodsy. A little hint of herbal. Definitely smell thyme, which is funny. That was like on the end of the list. Oh, smells like it'll complement it very well. Problem is I need to weigh it out. Okay, I've never said this before, but these are weird. They smell amazing, but they're super bright green. I mean, very, very bright green. So there's 1.75. We need 1 more ounce. There we go. We are at 2.75 ounces of McKinsey hops. Gotta put a lid on that bad boy. The lid, and we'll purge it later. Drop it in the freezer. So there's our McKinsey hops. Now I gotta get the caraway seeds in here. This ought to be fun. It was actually pretty trouble-free. And we've got to be getting close to that last 5 minutes. So let's go ahead, break and drop in our Whirlflock tablet. There we go. Yeast nutrient. I'm using Fermax yeast nutrient, and we're going to drop a whole teaspoon in there. Probably only need about a half teaspoon, but I'm dropping a whole. Got a little foam going, a little concerning, especially this late in the boil. I'll drop that in there. I think we're good. Let's stir up that Whirlflock and break the boil. I don't think we need to let any more steam out, but I'm gonna have to. Woo, my hand is warm. And there we go, there's our 5-minute warning. So what does that mean? That means it's time to drop the hops and the toasted caraway seeds. So there we go, they're in. Oh my gosh, that smells amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hopefully that doesn't fall. I don't know how to keep that from falling. I take a pin. We'll take a pin and hook it on there. That should keep the, I don't know, that might not work either. There we go. Yeah, we hear you, we hear you. You're asking for an addition. We've got the addition. Woo, do we have the addition. It smells amazing. Okay, let's do this. Let's take this. I am like doomed to drop this thing. You know what? I got a new little light. We're gonna hook the light to it. It's heavier. That'll keep it from going in. There we go, we're good. Okay, let's hit the add ingredient since we've already added our ingredient. And we got 4 minutes remaining and we can start chilling things down in 4 minutes. That means I need to get set up. Okay, that's it. We're done. And turn the boil off. Drop this bad boy to 0. Drop the set temp to 0. I'm gonna stir that up and I'm getting ready to add the Therminator. So we'll get things chilled. And then of course I'm spilling water everywhere. Okay, this isn't necessarily the way you want to use a plate chiller, but yeah, my water is not that cold. So I'm getting the temp down in general first, and then I'll slow everything down and run it into the fermenter. I'm gonna get a fermenter clean, get this transferred, get the temperature down to something reasonable for yeast pitching. Smells nice. I think it'll smell nicer after it's done fermenting, but it smells nice. Burnt a pinky, just a little bit. It's all good. Got the hops in the caraway seed over there. Lost a little bit of liquid. Not really worried, but yeah. So give me a minute and we'll pitch the yeast. Okay, it was a successful brew day. I was almost a gallon shy after I've been boiling off so much in this thing. I really need to just sit and do boil offs and get that down. But needless to say, after adjusting it, getting it up to around 5 gallons, literally plus or minus an ounce, I'm still sitting above 1.052. I don't even want to try to calculate the efficiencies, but it's a little on the higher side. So the ABV is gonna be a little higher. The Anton Par was saying that it was 1.055. The tilt hydrometer is 1.056. So it's probably like 1.0555. I don't know. That's usually what I seem to find when the tilt's off a little bit and this is off. They're usually very close to each other. One of them usually bounces. The tilt hasn't bounced and Par hasn't bounced. So we're just gonna say it's in between somewhere. Not a big deal. So the ABV might be a little high. I already put the Clarity Firm from White Labs in there. The only thing I haven't done is pitch the yeast, and we're gonna go ahead and get that. I'd had the garage door open to get some of the steam and moisture out, and had a few bugs in here, so I had to kill the bug before I opened up anything, and got the Star Sand, was spraying everything down. Ooh, smells amazing. Love my Irish yeast. Here we go. Don't want to get the stir bar in there. Oh, it just smells so nice. It's very nice. There we go. That's plenty. That's more than half. And that yeast is actually from last year, and I've been maintaining it, keeping it, beefing it up a little bit. So you can call that a test. I'm confident it'll ferment just fine, but I did buy some more just in case it looked a little rough or smelled rough, and everything was looking great, smelling good. I am probably gonna put this under pressure. I'll have to double check the fermentation from last year.